All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. You got a second to come in here. Get going. All right. Shalom. This is the ISUPK coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Officer of 1,000, law gun. Today we have a biblical law class today. And today we have a touching topic today about important things going over. The main thing is understanding the spirit of the Most High. The main spirit he specifically told us about in these scriptures that you cannot get around, and for whatever reason, people are always offended by it. People are always scared of this spirit. But he specifically told you the kind of spirit that he has and the kind of spirit that any man that follows him has to be in. No excuses for that. All right, the first one we're going to get here is Exodus 15 and 3. All right, let's get that. Exodus 15 and 3. Lock it. Exodus 15 and 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. That's also to you fake Israelites out here who don't know who the Most High's real name is. His name is the Lord, and in Hebrew it is Yahweh. That's how we know the name is verified in the Hebrew. For anyone that does not know this, when you hear us say Yahweh, we're not talking about some satanic God or some other God. We're talking about the God of the Bible. And here, this God of the Bible is telling you that he is a man of war. Now, what should you take from him telling you that? That he likes to go to battle. He loves to fight for everything that belongs to him, whether it be spiritually or physically. And any man that follows him must be in that same spirit, or you are not worthy of him. And I mean battle, you are willing to battle anyone over this truth, anyone for disrespecting this truth. You should be willing to die and defend this truth, man, woman, or child that believe you are in this truth. Understand that. And that's why this scripture specifically says that he is a man of war. And what you notice that he didn't say? He didn't say that he is a man of peace. He didn't say he is a man of love, right? He didn't tell you that. He specifically said this short scripture in this Bible to let you know the man he is. So there's no excuse for us not knowing that or getting offended by that. And also understand the spirit of every Israelite man, woman, and child. Understand that we love to fight. We have a spirit to go to war. If you pay attention to a lot of these basketball players like Russell Westbrook, a lot of these guys out here that you see on the court, raging up and down the court, raging up and down the football field, all these places doing great at their job, they have a spirit of war. But the problem with that is always directed at something to entertain the so-called white man. The so-called white man and everything surrounding what he wants out of this kingdom. That is what we have to stop allowing to happen. We have to take our youth who have that spirit, who most of our older people are afraid of because of that warrior spirit, and you're wondering why they can just shoot up something in the middle of the day, why they can just fight each other and have no remorse about it, because they are born to fight. But what are they fighting? They're fighting only each other. Nobody says you're never going to get into a scuffle with your brother or an argument with your brother or sister. But our anger is directly aimed at each other. We have decided that we are going to just hate each other and forgive everyone else. That is the problem. When he said this war, his spirit of God, that he is a man of war, he was not talking about fighting his own. But guess what? He will. He will destroy you. If you decide to go against the Most High, you are choosing to go to war with him. So that's what he means. He will go to war with you or the people that he intended to go to war with. So understand, even in the Israelite culture, you will notice sometimes there will be conflict in the Israelite culture. Yes, everybody says who the devil is, who we're against, but there are also wickedness behind it, behind I guess you call behind enemy lines, I guess, behind cross behind on our side, so called, right? Supposed to be an Israelite, but really you're an enemy. And that happened all through the scriptures. You understand what they said about King David? King David was a man after the Most High's own heart. What kind of man was King David? Did King David ever have to fight an Israelite, a brother? Did he have to ever? Let's get that. Let's go find out right quick. Let's get that is in Second Samuel. Give me a second. Second Samuel 18:6, if I'm not mistaken. If you get that for me, knock the shot before I get there. Let me know. It's when David fought the Ephraimites. Let's get there. So you understand that people love to bring up these men throughout the Bible and do not have an idea who these men were. Okay, so let's get it. Second Samuel 18 and 6. Second Samuel 18 and 6. So the people, also like, that's not correct. So like, give me 1 second. I put the wrong one here. Working with this new phone, this is like Second Samuel. You get it for me now to start letting me know. When he fought Ephraim. It's Second Samuel 18 and 6. That's what it's got. So why is it not coming up on my phone? That's what I thought. So it was Second Samuel 18 and 6. For some reason, something up coming up on his app. Give me a second here. We're gonna figure it out. Second Samuel 18. Okay. I see what's going on. This thing got me reading another version. That's what's going on. Second Samuel 18 and 6. Okay, so lock it. This is not. All right, so the people went out in the field against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim. Now, in that chapter, you know it's talking about King David. All right, King David went out and fought against other Israelites. Why did he do that? The purpose of him fighting against those other Israelites was to gain the kingdom, to unify the kingdom. If you read the whole chapter of Second Samuel, the 18th chapter, he had to fight other Israelites. Right? Now, what's the significance of that today? You will have brothers who are against the truth of what the Most High is trying to put out. There will be times when these two parties will clash each other and there will be conflict, right? It's not on purpose, it happens. All right? And the world shouldn't always get into a frantic when it is a clash. It's gonna be, brothers fighting to decide who is right. So how do you know who is right? Do you know about who you got bigger numbers? Do you know this by who has the most men or who has the biggest man? That's not how it goes. You know about who the Lord is with, by who is left standing. The kind of fruit that is produced from what you're trying to do. That's how you know what the Most High is doing. That's how you know who the Most High is with. And all we see is numbers and money. And what looks nice and what sounds nice. So that's what has destroyed our people from very, very get-go. All right? And you got to understand that the Most High told you a long time ago that there was a time for every type of thing. He said that every spirit he is part of. He said, I do all these things. The book of Isaiah 54:17, he says, I am the light, I am the darkness. I kill, I make alive. I, the Lord, do all these things. All right? Let's get Ecclesiastes 3:1. All right? Let's get that from the top. To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heavens. All right? A time to be born and a time to die. All right? A time to plant and a time to pluck up. It's just telling you how life works. This is a part of life. All right? Going on to it. A time to pluck up that which is planted. When you plant something down, there's a time when you should reap the benefits of it. Pluck it up. There's always going to be an action that needs to be done. And every one of those actions, if you are in the spirit, is going to be of the Most High. Every one of these actions I'm about to change and bring you to is of the Most High. All right? A time to kill and a time to heal. There was a time when you would have to go to war to defend your people, to defend what you're trying to build. There's a time for that. Now, notice it did not say murder. Now, a big misnomer is in the Bible is when it says, thou shalt not kill. All right? In the actual Hebrew, it is, thou shalt not murder. You cannot go and murder a brother or sister because you have a problem with them. You cannot sit down and plot and say, I'm going to go do this to this person. Instead of having a sit down or conversation, I'd rather just kill them. Right? That's a lot of our people are doing. That is murder. That's when you should go to jail. We should receive a punishment for it. Sometimes there will be a time to kill. I mean, you kill animals, right? You will kill a cockroach, right? So you can't be talking about you can never have to kill anyone, right? There are times in these scriptures where a prophet of the Most High had to kill someone. All right, matter of fact, let's get there. I'm going to hold that and get you a perfect example that some of y'all may not know. All right, Shalak. I'm working with slow phone. Just bear with me here. Bear with me. If anybody can find where Moses killed the soldier for beating the Israelite, tap it in for me. Let me get it right. It's in Exodus. Shalak. Okay. Back on track next week a little quicker, but y'all bear with me today. That is in Exodus chapter 2 and 11. 2 and 11. Let's get that. Exodus 2 and 11. I'm going to come back to that Ecclesiastes, but we got to finish that off. All right? Exodus 2 and 11. All right, and it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went unto his brethren. So if you know the story of Moses, he was brought up in the kingdom. He came around when he realized he knew he was an Israelite, but he looked down upon his people and realized the situation they were in. So he went down once he was a grown man and went around his people. And when he got there, he looked up on their burdens. He saw his people struggling. He saw his people going through things. Being poor in the hood. Now he was what made Moses so great. A lot of brothers in the school are like this as well. You weren't in a bad situation when you came into the truth. You were doing fine. You could have kept on doing what you were doing. A lot of us were in that position, right? But he saw his people. That's true love. When a man can just have everything he wants in the earth and decide to go back and fight for his, that is the leader. That is the leader. That is the man that Commander Junior Holly is. Commander Junior Holly could go do a lot of those things, but he decided to give up his life. And that's what every man that's in this school has had to do. So no matter how great your life was and what you had going on, you chose to give that up to be in the truth. That's a warrior. That is a man of war right there. You chose to go fight instead of just going to work and getting your money and laying up with your woman all day. You chose to get into this fight to protect your people. All right? That's a certain type of spirit on any man or woman that chooses to do that. All right? So he went down and he spied on the Egyptian smiting a Hebrew. What does it mean, smite? He was trying to kill a Hebrew. He was trying to take the brother out, one of his brothers, right? And he looked this way and that way, so he just basically saw the African who was what you would call the police officer at that time, um, slaying one of his brothers, like getting ready. Probably imagine today he got him down, saying freeze, got his foot on his neck, whatever you want to call it. In a situation where a brother has died, imagine those few minutes that you being that person in that situation, right? So Moses saw that you were you were in reaching distance of this officer to stop you. This is Moses, right? When he saw that there was nobody around, he looked around. So it's just him, his brother on the ground, the officer, the devil, whoever, the African Salakia that was attacking him, and he slew him, and he hit him in the sand. So he killed him and hit him in the sand. So that's something that could very well happen today. If you're an honorable man, you see a man getting killed in the street by an officer, you should be willing to die for that brother. No, you shouldn't pull your phone out and let the brother die. You should be that person that says, "You taking him out, you taking me out." Moses did not know this man, and he killed an officer for him. So that's what it's talking about. It's sometimes a time to kill. It is a time to go to war and to fight for something. That's something that you are a man of God. If you are a man of God for real, you shouldn't care about going to jail. Guess what? The Most High will get you out of the situation the same way he did with Moses. See, in the kingdom, when it's set up in order, when it's a righteous kill, you can be set up in another city while the politics of who you took out get took care of. That's how it should work in the kingdom. If there's a conflict and you were in the right, nobody is going to be allowed to come back and retaliate against you. You're going to be moved over here. And then we're going to mediate that with the family so where you can come back home. All right? But in this situation, the Most High brought Moses out of that because it was a righteous kill. Right? Right. All right? So let's go back to that Ecclesiastes. I just want to give you a good example of that. That was Ecclesiastes 3, and we started at 1. I think we're on 2 now. All right? It said a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. There are times when you come into the truth, or when you're coming around any man of God, you know what I'm saying? You have demons on you that need to be broken down. That brother may have to deal with you and chastise you harshly sometimes. You may need that to perfect your spirit. People cannot handle that. And these are just using words, in the spirit of Christ, just saying things to help people, to be honest with them. You must sometimes break some people down to build them up. You have to. Because that person will always walk around thinking they're right. Every man that's in this school has to go through that. Every man, woman, and child goes through that. Or the people, if you're not around people that constantly are trying to help you with your demons, your demon gonna get fed. That demon is gonna get fed or it's gonna die. It's not gonna just sit there and be quiet. You gotta fight that demon every day. All right. A time to weep. There's a time to be mournful of someone, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. So if you go through this whole chapter, it explains every spirit that we go through. But you have to know what time you're in. A lot of times we kill when we should have healed. All right, a lot of times we plucking up before we try to plant. The key to this whole chapter is a time, knowing the time, knowing when to do something. How do you know that? By following the Most High, man. With everything that's important in this truth is timing. You being patient with things, understanding how they go. That's a law. There's a time in where you should court your woman, a time in where you should join a group. You shouldn't just join the first group you look at. You should take your time and vet a group and learn the group. Don't just listen to rumors about a group. And when you see a group act a certain way, was it time for that? Maybe it was time for that. Maybe it's been going on for so long that something needs to be done about it. Just for the word, I'll get an understanding of what the truth and what's not. So the timing is everything, and you cannot ever just overlook that. So if you don't keep up with time, you will be behind every time. That's just be honest with you, right? So you got to understand the importance of that. Now, what's also important? The most important part of any war that you're going to is what? Can anybody in the chat tell me what is the most important part of you going to war? With anything, right? I'm gonna give you a second to figure it out while I get the scripture. Type in the chat if you got it. What's the most important thing? And I'll give you a hint, it's not physical. I'll give you a hint. Anybody got anything? All right. I got, okay, hold on, somebody. I'm doing 1, 2, 6. Okay. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle. Right? So what that means right there is a horse, which is one of the most trained. Right. That's partially correct. Um, the horse is prepared against the day. So the horse is the most well trained animal in the earth, right? So the horse it got big legs, it's strong, and it's still trained. It's one of the most trained animals in terms of using for war. About most horses have seen every war there was at some point in time, right? Because they got endurance, they last a long time. So he's using a horse as an example as someone that's well trained. You outside every day. You got all the guns in the world. You fight all the time. You win. You got good hands. All that stuff, right? But safety is of the Lord. So what that means is the Lord is not with you. I don't care what you got going on. The situation that you're gonna end up in a situation whether you want to or not. If the Lord not with you, you can lose your life. You know, you can see a situation where it's 40 demons on 4 brothers, and the brothers end up getting killed. But the Lord with you, brothers, the demons might be able to put their hands on you for a quick second, but you're gonna be released quickly. Another situation where a demon wanted to kill you, they would have got up to killing you, because that's what they really want to do, right? So the Lord got to be with you in every situation for you to win. That's why scriptures say exercise profit is nothing. It's not saying you don't go to the gym. It's not saying you don't train and take care of your body. But you will get your ass whooped against a man, the Lord is with him. Right? And don't mistake the moves of cowards as the Lord being with them. We always get confused with the numbers. Alright? So let's get into more of current things, you know what I'm saying? Because people, I'm in the Old Testament, right? So most Christians, like you talking Old Testament, blah, 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 blah. Let's go see what Christ said. Let's go see what he always spoke on and what he said, all right? Let's get that. Let's get, um, let's get that. All right? All right. I'm still working out the kinks on this phone here, so give me a second. Right. Okay. Let's get Luke 22 and 36. Luke 22 and 36. Right? All right. So, this is Christ talking to the disciples, right? He said, and he said unto them, But now, he that has a purse, let him take it. So let me give you a backstory on this, right? I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna go up a chapter and read. Just understand what he's saying. And he said unto them, when I sent you out without purse, scrip, shoes, lack ye anything? He's talking to the disciples, talking about how they're gonna have to go out when he's gone. When Christ was around, they didn't need anything, right? The Spirit was right there with them, right? It's similar to when they asked why they weren't fasting. Same thing, right? Christ was right there with them physically, and that transcended to being a priest and prophet of today, right? Priests and prophets of today are provide protection for people that are around them. There's a hedge around people that believe in this truth, that follow this truth. There are certain they don't even realize it. It's a difference in somebody speaking out against the truth and respecting the truth. Everybody's not meant to be in the ISUPK, but there are people who support the ISUPK, who understand the truth, who respect the warriors that's in here, right? Understand that it's something that they wouldn't want to do, but they appreciate what we're doing, right? So that's the level. That transcends to what's going on. When the Spirit is with you, you have that protection. So they didn't have to do it because the actual Spirit was with them, right? So we said when he leaves, what do you got to do? All right. He said, if you was with me, you lack nothing. I sent you out with nothing. Then he said, but now he has a purse. Let him take it. If you got money, take your money. Likewise, the scrip, take the scrip. He that have no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Now, today, this talking about a weapon, right? Now, why would Christ say that? Why would he say, let's sell your shirt? He's saying if you don't have a weapon to protect you and your family, sell what you do have. Sell a shirt. When you say shirt, I mean, that was a big thing back then, your shirts, but you had to have that. So that probably was a very expensive thing. So sell what you have to get one weapon. No grown man should be walking around with not one weapon to protect himself. Right? That's a commandment from Christ. This is all in order from the highest ranking man. Right? I mean, like, seriously, he's telling you to get that. Why is he saying that? Because the truth hurts. The truth hurts feelings. The truth pisses people off. Just like these purple faggots out here, Salakia, who just tried to attack our brothers didn't physically do anything to them. Right? The truth hurt. What came out of them brothers' mouth hurt. Right? And it's going to get worse. People are going to, stuff like that was a minor thing of how bad it's going to get. The more we're growing, the more we're speaking, people will try to physically attack. That's why Christ is saying to protect yourself, right? It may happen when a brother ain't at camp, when a brother is somewhere else. You are to protect yourself. You are ordered by Christ not to just get killed or hurt by anyone. This from the man you think this old lovey-dovey, some blue-eyed, white-haired bastard that just love everybody. When you understand this is a nigga out of Nazareth who is going to come and shed blood, you understand what we're trying to tell you. You understand why the Spirit, why your worldly mind, you think the ISUPK is full of thugs. Instead of the men who are the only men who have the right to judge the matters in your life, who will judge them correctly. Alright? Alright, so he said, take that likewise. He said, you know what I'm saying? Because everything must happen. Right? So he's saying, for I say unto you that this is written must yet be accomplished in me. So he's telling them, be prepared for war. It's gonna happen, man. Like when Christ went up on that cross to die, it was a scary thing. The brother asked for another way to do it, but he did it anyway. So he's telling you to protect yourself because you're gonna speak on this truth, and it's gonna be times where it may get physical. Because these words hurt. The truth hurts. It's not meant to make you happy. If anybody in the group can give me that, I came not to bring peace for the sword. Type that in for me. That's in Matthew something. This phone, now let me pull it up. I came to bring peace, not a sword. I came not to bring peace, a lot of it. For some reason. not to bring peace, but a sword. That thing won't give me nothing. It's in Matthew, but I can't think of the exact scripture. If anybody type it in for me, let me know. All right, we'll move forward. I think you know the scripture I'm talking about. It's a pretty well-known scripture. All right. So let me get another one. It's in Nahum 2:1. Let's get Nahum right here. All right, let's get Nahum 2:1. Get it? Let's get it. All right, Nahum chapter 2, verse 1. All right. He that dasheth in pieces, after what? Matthew 10:34. We'll get that next. All right. He that dasheth in pieces come up before thy face. All right. So what is talking about? He that dasheth in pieces come up before thy face. So that means people that like to destroy things. Evil bastards who like to hurt people, who like to do evil things, they're going to come up before thee. You're going to have to come across these people. All right? At some point in time. What the scripture told you to do? It said, keep the munition. What does munition mean? Look up munition. All right? Let's look at the definition of munition. Let's get that. Munition definition. Munitions is military weapons, equipment, stores, reserves, supply. It never had defense industry necessary to equipment. This is talking about what? Bullets, maybe. Back then, you would say what David used in a slingshot to kill Goliath, all that. Knives, munitions, all that. He's telling you to keep this stuff in that, and turn you have to fight, man. Because there are people that are going to come up and try to destroy what you're doing if you come into this truth. And let me tell you something. If you're not willing to be a person that can fight or go to war, you should never think about joining the ISUPK. Because the amount of fighting and war going on physically and spiritually to get to the kingdom is going to be, something you're going to make you throw up thinking about it. But it has to happen. And we're not even going to do the worst part. Christ is going to do the majority of it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you, you might not have to get down here right before we get here. That may happen. But you want to make it to the big show. The big show, all you got to do is hear the cries and the screams of people that deserve it. All right? Understand that. All right? So munitions are any kind of support for your weapon. All right? Any kind of equipment needs support you defending yourself. So this is all in the Bible, man. Your pastor's not going to tell you that. But I guarantee he got it done. Right? Guarantee he got to keep it. But he don't tell his flock to keep it done. He's telling you to bow down and be soft and nice, and it's destroying our black men and women. All right? Now, with all that being said, that's the physical part of it, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to get more to that, but also understand that you have to keep that part around. You cannot, people like to think the Old Testament and the New Testament are separate. It's not. Right? It's all intertwined. You got to have the same spirit that you was if you was going to go kill a man, and the same spirit you want to go and go heal a man or blaze on a man with your words. Same spirit, You have to have that type of spirit. So if you don't, it's definitely a kill or be killed thought process where if you don't be strongly about what you think, another thought process will overpower you. Right? So, and let me tell you why. Let's get Matthew 11 and 12. Let's get Matthew 11 and 12. Let's get that. Matthew 11 and 12. All right. Matthew 11 and 12, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. Now, my question is, what is it talking about when it says the kingdom of heaven? Who is it talking about? What does it say? It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. I'll give y'all a second to put that in before I give the answer. What you think it might be? Y'all got some stuff going on, young man? See you hanging on in there. Look forward to seeing you. All right, so nobody got that? Okay, so the kingdom of heaven, right here when it says the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, it's talking about you. It's talking about us. It's talking about all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. We have suffered violence through slavery, civil rights. Now we do it to each other. And don't forget, the white man is the devil. He still wants you dead. And it's always a violent act against us. It's always going to be an Israelite getting killed by a white officer. Every blue moon you will see a black officer or a Mexican officer do something. 9 times out of 10, it is your ordained oppressor destroying us because we suffer violence. And that violence leaks over into our community because we know we can't just go out and shoot the police up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take out the anger on our brothers and sisters. So that we suffer in violence because when we get done to us as a whole, we go march and get happy for a minute and go try to do this for that. We come right back to our neighborhood and we had dealt with things and we killing each other. Right? And so they deal with us so viciously. Right? Right? And the violent take it by force. Right? So everything has been taken from us by force. So guess how it's going to get taken back? Right? You think it's not going to get taken back by kumbaya? There's going to be some violence every now and then. There's going to be some brothers clashing heads going to war. And the man that come on top should rule. That's how it should go. That's how King David won. How you think King David got so much respect, man? He got respect because he was knocking, he couldn't even build a temple because he had blood on his hands. See, most Christians don't understand the Bible, man. This is real life. He had to go to war sometimes with evil brothers to build a kingdom. That's why we rock the Dawah. That's why we rock these Dawah now with his name on it. But what he had to go do, it was so atrocious, even to the Most High, the way he said, you know what, you can't build it. I appreciate what you did. I'm gonna bless your son. That's why he allowed Solomon to live his life, even though Solomon sinned, because of what King David did. King David had to lay that foundation out. Now, if you don't have the spirit to go and lay that foundation out, whether it be physically or spiritually, you should put the Bible down. And it's not about this always going to hurt a brother or do anything to a brother. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be in that spirit. This was all a necessity that King David had to go and do to get a greater good. And the Most High blessed it. That's why he was able to go out and take out 200s of men. Because the Lord was with him. The Lord knew what he wanted him to do. And sometimes our people get so corrupted out here to where you're going to have to bump heads just to get to the real war. Because in that war, you're going to win over some people. When King David fought the Ephraimites and won that, guess what he did? The ones that was left, he brought them in. We married amongst them. We built a kingdom. That was the last time you saw Mexicans and blacks join together. You realize that, right? We haven't been joined together since then. Do you know how powerful we'd be today if we were able to join together? So, but the man that was able to do that had to do what? He had to go to war. He couldn't allow certain things to go on and consider himself king and consider himself a ruler of his people. He couldn't allow this going on over here, right? And then what I said about time. If you notice how King David moved, it was all about time. He moved as like a tactician, a real warrior. Took counsel from Samuel, who was also a killer, who was also men feared him when he walked up to where he had to tell them shalom, so where they'll relax. This Bible ain't for no little weak, more weak man, man. It is not. It's not for a man who only wants peace. You have to go through a certain level of war to get to the peace. If you understand things spiritually, you should look to not see it in this lifetime. You should look to die fighting for that kingdom because it's so messed up. We may have a long way to go. And you got to be willing to take that route. Don't think just because you join the truth now that next month Christ coming back. You may be in this game 20 years before it happens. You may be lost a family member, lost a child, lost a wife, lost a husband, lost everything. What are you going to be in 20 years? That's the war. That's the spirit you got to be in. If you're not in that spirit, the Most High is going to weed you out easily. All right. Let's get 2 Corinthians 10:4. Okay. My pastor lock it. Hold that. Let's get that 10 and 30. Matthew 10 and 34 since we in Matthew already. Let's get Matthew 10 and 34. I know a lot of y'all have heard this, but some of y'all may have not. All right. This is Christ talking. All right. All right. So think not that I have come to send peace on earth. All right. This is Christ. Think not a lot. Understand that. Think not that I have come. Yeah, I'm down this field, brother. You checking the class, put checking in for the class. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So understand that. Why did he say I came not to bring peace? This is Christ talking. Because you cannot just come. And your household right now, think about the household you're in right now. You know, let's just say you're in a situation where you live with your mama, you live with your dad, and you live with someone, you got a wife who celebrates holidays, who do this and all that. Your job as a man of Christ is to stand firm on you following this truth. And this wicked place, there's no way in the world you're going to come into this truth and not get into it with nobody. People are supposed to get pissed off when you choose the truth. If your religion does not piss anybody off, you chose the wrong thing. You're serving a weak God. You're serving a passive God who ain't going to serve no power in your life. That means you're a Muslim, Christian, African, Kemet. Your God don't piss people off, man. They didn't go jack up Kyrie Irving and Kanye West because they said they was Christian, or because they said they was Muslim, or because they said they was African. They said that because of the one book, the men of one book that said you need to go to war. So when them brothers said that, they should have been ready for war. Now I commend them holding out for a celebrity. But us, the regular folks, the Most High decides to keep in the background, you got to hold tight. You're not going to get no kind of accolades for doing this right now. You got to be willing to get up and fight the demons in front of you every day. Get out that bed and fight that demon that want to get high every day. Fight that demon that want to go plot up on something. We sit and stop and think about the way we're thinking right now, right? We get up and go plot on evil every day. We just don't know it. You plot on some other man's woman, that's evil. You plot on taking a man's money or something belonging to him, that's evil. You plan on making this sister look bad because you're mad, your man may be talking or anything, man. We get up in our mind is the first thing that we go to. That's what you got to fight first, man. All right, so that's why he's saying, think not that I brought peace. Because if you get up and fight them demons, you're going to be into with people around you. Your circle is not in the truth. So you're going to get into with people in your circle when you come into the truth. If it's not, you're not following the truth. Ain't no way you're going to tell me what the crew you in or what we nothing. Everybody at home before I came in the truth, I bumped heads with at some point in time. Some of them still around, some not. But I chose the path I was going to take, which was going to be a path that wasn't peaceful. Because I know it's not real peace out here. This is all a fake facade. Alright? He said, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Why is he saying that? Because your daddy taught you it's okay to celebrate Christmas. Your daddy taught you it was okay to sleep with woman to woman and leave that woman alone. Your daddy taught you to go into a church and listen to a homosexual that ain't half the man you are. He said that was okay to do that. He said you was with the Lord for doing that. He sin all year and go put a sucker suit on and go to Easter. That's why you had to come against your father. It ain't personal. And hopefully he will understand that, but if he don't, you have to stick with that. And the daughter against her mother, same thing. Your mother told you it was okay to get another nigga number while you with a man. She said that. She said to have a backup plan, baby. She said that. She told you, he ain't treating you right. You better go see about that man. Go put it on him too. Go mess with both of them. They ain't gonna know. You got to be at variance with your mother. You got to do that. Because that is the problem with a lot of our black women. They're taking advice from older whores that you think they survive because they're not dead. But the Most High is putting them there really to test you. That person is there in your life to test you. You know what you're saying not right. You know what that person not saying not right. So you got to understand, those spirits going to be weak and fight against that or stick with that. All right? And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And so on and so on, man. It's supposed to be a certain level of warfare in your life. If you don't have that, you're serving the wrong God. All right? Now, understand this when I'm talking about warfare. All right? Let's get 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Let me read the King James Version Bible, all right? 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. What does that mean? Not carnal. Carnal is always physical. Carnal is something tangible, right? So I went over a lot of the physical aspects of what we got to talk to. But now I'm bringing you back on home to the Spirit of Christ, all right? All right? You protect yourself at all times, you know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something before I get into this. Turn the other cheek does not mean let somebody hit you in the face, all right? That's not what the Bible is saying. When they say he turned the other cheek, that's talking about you forgiving your brother. Your brother going to offend you. All right? Sometimes you got to let that brother learn some kind of time without putting your hands on him. You talk to him. You go to him what? One-on-one. You go to that brother one-on-one, have your problem with him. But it's not ever, turn the other cheek is never talking about letting somebody hit you in the face. Only time you can say Christ did that is when he got crucified, because he knew, he could have called a leader, not the sky, to save him. He knew he had to go die. He knew he had to do that. That's the only time he allowed that. But don't ever think he's telling us to let somebody come punch you in the face. That's talking about forgiving your brother, man. I want to get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? That's a known. I didn't have that pulled, but you need to understand that. That's not what Christ's talking about. All right? When the scripture, when they say pluck out your eye, that's saying don't do nothing that's going to cause you to sin. If you looking at somebody as a woman, don't get off Instagram. Get off social media. If you can't stop looking at porn or doing this, put your phone down. That's what they're talking about. All right? Let's get that. So, understand the spiritual part of what Christ is trying to tell you. All right? So, the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God through pulling down the strongholds. All right? What's a stronghold? A stronghold is you thinking you have to go and do stuff. A stronghold is you feeling like Like I gotta celebrate Christmas. I gotta go vote. I gotta be at my mama's house for Mother's Day. I need this money today so I can be kicking it for Memorial Day. You know, but you don't know about Passover. You don't know about Feast of Unleavened Bread. You don't know about Monday Feast of First Fruits coming up. You don't know about none of that because you got a stronghold on your brain about what you're supposed to be celebrating. But and speaking on the topic of being a man of war, all of our holy days are surrounded around the Most High killing our enemies. Yes, in this Bible, every holy day, Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, High Hanukkah, most of them are surrounded around war and wars that we won. We had to celebrate them because guess what? We're losing wars now. We have to remember when we was actually winning wars because it hadn't happened in a long time. Every war is being brought against us now, and we're never prepared for it. All right. Who was that? Who was that? 2 Corinthians 10:4. Let's finish that off. Casting down imaginations, man. Imaginations. What's an imagination? Somebody typing this on imaginations. Imaginations is you thinking for one thing you thinking you an American. That's an imagination. You thinking that you can put down technically an American, but are you really an American? Are you? I mean, John Morant is finna lose his career for legally carrying a gun, right? I'm pretty sure off I touched on it yesterday in the title, but I gotta tell you, my only problem with what John Morant did was how he was holding the gun. He was holding the damn gun like it was a curling iron. I was more pissed off about the effeminate way he was holding the gun, other than the fact he actually had a gun because he wasn't breaking the law. So is he an American? You know, why did Kanye West have to lose $1 million because he said to Israelite? Is he American? We have this imagination, this false that they've given us that we belong with these people, that we belong on this earth. We belong with how they feel and what they're thinking. And we don't. That's an imagination that we will not let go. Right? Every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Everything in this earth is you think this Bible is a fairy tale. So guess what that means? Whatever you do believe, you've exalted above the actual God that you serve. Right? And the God that you're serving has you thinking that you have to go and vote for some evil white man so you don't get killed. That you got to go vote and do all this crazy mess they tell you to do because TV told you to do it. That you're going to somehow survive. Because you're scared of what they're going to do to you. But guess what? They're already doing it to us right now. They're doing it to us right now. And we got to remember that. All right? So and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. That means you got to understand. When you put on the spirit of Christ, man, you got to be a captive to it. To where you can't be unbrotherly. You can't be a coward. To where you can't just be a low down bastard. You're a captive to have the spirit of Christ, man. That's what you want to get. You want to get to where you can't imagine yourself just leaving your woman because you want to go sleep with some whores. You can't imagine yourself leaving your brother hanging because you want to keep a little bit more money in your pocket. That's when you are captive to the spirit of Christ right there, man. Understand that, all right? All right, and a lot of this stuff has made our men very weak. You know, I got to show you how this. You got to see this one. Let's get to 2 Corinthians 6 and 9. This is something that cannot be overlooked. You know, this is for your Christian pastors. Any of these guys on the internet, man. All these guys, man. All these guys are weak men, right? You know, I'm gonna show you what the problem is. You know, 2 Corinthians 6 and 9, as unknown. That's incorrect. That's not correct. I don't know why this thing got me all over the place. Okay, give me that feminine scripture, not just so I can see it. So give me 1 second. I want y'all to get this. I'm gonna find this one right quick. Give me 1 second. If you got any questions, type in the chat. We're almost done. Right. First Corinthians 6 and 9. That's what it was. Okay. First Corinthians. Lock it. First Corinthians 6 and 9. All right. First Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. All right. Being unrighteous is some person that doesn't follow the law. So we celebrate Christmas, Valentine's Day, birthdays, anything that's not in this book, you are considered unrighteous. All right. We should say, especially with the technology that shit. Right, exactly, brother. The technology ruins us. Instagram has ruined us, man. We have become a slave to what this internet is put in front of us. We don't even know how to greet each other. You know, most men have problems meeting women because of the internet. The internet has made you think women supposed to walk around in bikinis all the time. You know, you should be impressed when you see a sister with a sweater on right now, man. It's getting out of hand. You know, the internet has ruined us in so many ways. Technology, and you know the bad part about technology is that our people have these smartphones and don't look up anything pertaining to their culture. They don't, we take our time to go out on street corners on the weekend. We travel on these videos, right? And if the Israelite culture is growing in the earth, people still don't want to take the time out to look this stuff up with their smartphone. You know, you should understand why you just find out about an Israelite in 2023 because we are the youngest culture in the Bible. We were the last ones to come out. That's why this stuff is new. That's why this stuff is shocking your spirit. That's why you like, man, what is this? Who are these niggas? What are they saying? Why are they saying it? Why are they getting away with it? Because this is it. This is the end of that kingdom. And the new kingdom is coming in. This is just the ground floor of it. It's not supposed to look pretty. Right? Let's get this, man. We got Salaki. All right, that's unrighteous. Be not deceived. Neither fornicator. What's a fornicator? A fornicator, they would tell you a fornicator is a man that has more than one woman. That's what they tell you, which is a damn lie. The Bible allows for a man to have more than one wife. Righteously, though. Don't go to the strip club and get hoes. Don't go pick no broad up and meet at the supermarket and mess with her at night and say you're my wife. Court the sister, learn the sister, help the sister, heal the sister. Then you touch the sister. That's how you do that, right? That's righteous. And make sure it's a necessity. Every man don't have to have that, right? But a fornicator is someone who looks at, who constantly who watches porn, someone who into homosexuality is fornication. Automatically, we know that, right? Sleep with another man's woman. There are men who love to sleep with another man's woman like it's just a habit. For one thing, it's homosexual, right? If you know a man having sex with a woman, you're gay if you think that it's okay to want to sleep with her too. It's a demon. You may not know about it. You need counseling. You know how that. You know, but it's a demon. You know, all of us, almost, it's not just brothers came in, had to understand that. When you look at the fact from it being a homosexual standpoint, it helped me. You know, just being honest with you, the fish is good for the skull because you don't realize that. You don't realize that that man's rod goes to that woman. You go take a bath in that man's bathtub? Can he be outside all day playing ball, come home, take a bath, soak his body in it? Are you gonna come right behind him just because you need you a quick shower? Are you gonna get in his tub? No. That's what you're doing when you go dipping his woman right behind him. I don't care how fine she is. You're a fornicator. You're a wicked bastard, right? That's how they go. So, and that's what we got to stop doing. It's nothing wrong with having more than one woman, right? It's righteous. It's righteous. It's needed in some places, but do it righteously. All right. This is what I really wanted to get to. No adulterers. That's basically in the same category. Idolaters are anybody who puts anything over the Most High, right? We got everybody is dog with dogs. We don't idolize dog with dogs, right? I don't have to wear a dog with dogs. It's not a sin to wear a dog with dogs. It represents a man that the Most High loves, right? That he sit on his throne, right? That's what that means, right? Um, Idolatry would be like the cross. You thinking having a cross on your neck is going to save you from getting shot that day, or you looking up and saying doing this, like Sammy Sosa did, who hates himself now. Obviously, used to do this all the time. That's idolatry right there. You saying I got to be inside a church on New Year's or I'm gonna die this year is idolatry. All that kind of stuff is idolatry. We don't practice that, right? But this is it. Nor effeminate. Now, what is effeminate? It's saying you are an effeminate man. It's saying no adulterers, nor the effeminate. If you are an effeminate man, you cannot get into the kingdom. Now, does effeminate mean you are gay? Does it mean that you have ever blown a rod or had sex, any kind of sex with a man? No, it means you act like a bitch. It's a lock. It means you act like a woman. It means you act like an unstable creature that cannot decide what you want to eat that day. You are emotional. You cannot be talked to. You are uncontrollable, always all over the place. You're high all the damn time. You got to get what you want. If you don't have it, the world has to end. You're willing to do anything. You're a raper woman. You'll take something from anybody if you get you are an feminine bastard. And the Most High hates how you are. You're going to destroy it, right? When you are a type of man who cannot handle words that come out of another man's mouth without reasoning with him, that's effeminate. When you want to go and kill a brother because he has something you want instead of you going to go get that, you're effeminate. So that's what we got to work on. And the Most High said you cannot get into the kingdom. So if you're not in the kingdom, that means what? You fool. That means when everything go down, the Lord ain't with you because you want to act like you want to have your skinny jeans on and wear your hoochie daddy shorts, suck on hookahs all day, suck on a blunt all day. Nigga can't eat a hot dog, but you can suck on a blunt all day. That's the world we living in. You can't eat a glizzy, you can't eat a hot dog if you're hungry, but you can suck on a blunt. So that's the problem right out here. That's the problem. Right? And we got to fix that. Effeminate men, emotional men, it got to start with the man. All right? No abuse of themselves or mankind. That goes back to homosexuality. That's all the deviant things that the Most High hates, man. You got to understand that. Okay, understand that, man. So yeah, we got a question thing like that. I want to get to that Maccabee story, but Salakia, I do not have this apocrypha with me. Salakia. Okay, we got to end the class. Like that was the last one. If we don't have any questions, we're gonna do a part 2 on this man of war next week. If you got any questions, any concerns about anything said before the end, please inbox me. Okay, or type in the chat and I'll get right with you. All right. All right, men of Israel, Amazim, Amanu Shabbat, Amazim, Barak, Yahweh Shibbi Yahweh Shah Barakatah, salute to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba Shibbi Yahweh Shah, Amazim Batah, class dismissed.